Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today was the big day where we finally got some more information for upcoming patch of 5.3. So today was part 1 of 2 letter from the producers, which did talk about 5.3, and they did mention hopefully enough to keep everybody entertained for a while. Yoshia and Foxclone were both in separate rooms due to the coronavirus situation going on, and they were expressing their care for everyone out there who were affected by it. And Yoshi P read a letter from a fan who was someone working in the medical field who was helping to combat the coronavirus, and he did read out about how Final Fantasy XIV was like a second home for him, and all the friends that they made in game, that the players gave them the strength to keep going, and you could tell that was really touching to Yoshi P, and I really felt that too when they were explaining what was going on. Now, patch 5.3 was previously slated to come out in mid-June, but because of the pandemic going on, that delayed things. Voice actors are now forced to record their lines from home, and they also have the development team testing their updates from home to prevent bugs before they push their challenges. I was a little bit worried at first when they said that the voice actors were recording from home, but they did promise that the voice acting is still going to be top-notch by the time it does come out, so I'm going to hold them to that. I mean, I do feel terrible mentioning it because I understand the state of emergency in Tokyo right now. I understand that everything is going to be on delay for the time being. And they did say that it's going to be pushed back at least 2 or 3 weeks, or potentially closer to a month depending on how things go. And yeah, I get it. I understand. I really do understand why they're doing it. But does it really make me a terrible person for saying that I'm really disappointed in this? I agree that they have to think of their own health and well-being, and I don't hold it against them, but after seeing just that one little screenshot of what's going to be waiting for us, it's just going to be torture waiting for an extra month. Thankfully, the state of their development team right now, everyone's doing all right, no one's infected, no one's sick, so here's hoping that it's going to remain that way. So at this point, we are at the 5.3 patch, and for those of you who do pay close attention, the main scenario questline for the current expansion usually does kind of finish up wrapping up the story around the 0.3 patch. And then the remaining patches are just kind of setting up the story for the next expansion. And so this here has been confirmed that they're not changing that formula for this part. Now, because of the pandemic going on, we don't really know for sure if any future patches will be going out on time like how they planned, or if those are also going to be pushed back as well. Can't say that on that front. But I do think that by the end of this patch, we will at least be given a clue to what our next destination will be. And if things keep happening in Garlemald, I'm probably going to start thinking that we're going to be heading out there next. Of course, I have this nagging feeling in my gut that we may be misleading ourselves into that. I mean, that's kind of what happened the last time. I suppose we'll just have to wait until the fan festival at the end of the year to learn anything for sure. But yes, this is supposed to be the very height of the expansion. We're here to wrap up the whole storyline for Shadowbringers, and I am expecting something big here. At least there better be something big. There is nothing more soul-crushing, to me anyway, than a terrible ending to an otherwise amazing story. You could have the most beautiful story from beginning to middle that was ever written in the history of mankind, but then the entire story would be ruined because of poor writing at the conclusion. I'm expecting this story to give us not only the satisfaction of ending this story, but closing the current storyline and giving us something that would otherwise blow our effing minds. I am expecting something spectacular that will blow all the other patches out of the water, and if not, I might just rage quit because it would be a crime if such an emotional story ended on such a bad way. But I digress. I do think that at this point we are going to see the Scions returning home to the source, maybe not all at once, maybe with us taking perhaps the twins home first since they seem to be the most stable with their connections with their bodies, followed by the others and maybe the later patches. That's just an idea that I had. Also, with our trial opening serving as some sort of capstone boss, since this has worked for previous expansions and against Nidhogg and Tsukiyomi, it's a bit less clear-cut in this case. We don't know who the final boss is going to be for this just yet. We don't really have a villain made ready for us, like with the previous expansions, but I feel confident that we're going to have somebody really good. So those are just my personal thoughts so far. We'll be saving any predictions that I have for another video. This is just going to be the information that was confirmed for us today, what we learned today, what we're going to be expecting for the patch later on, and we'll just leave the predictions later on, but I will be doing a video on that. So the first thing that we learned is that this patch is going to be called Reflections in Crystal, and we do have the beautiful artwork for this, and it really makes me fearful for the Exarch in this patch. We have the form here of the Crystal Exarch, or as we know him, hopefully this won't spoil anything for anyone, but as we know him really as Graha Tia. So I don't know where exactly he's standing. It looks like he's standing like in front of the golden doors, like to the crystal tower. We see this crystal here in his hands, and I'm kind of wondering if there's a reason why it looks just like the crystal that we had from Echoes of a Fallen Star. So I'm guessing that there's a reason why they're making it look like that. I mean, I think it's even at the same angle as the crystal from the previous patch, but like I said, I will leave any predictions that I have for the next video. So, what are we going to be expecting? Well, the main scenario questline, where they do confirm this is going to be the conclusion to the Shadowbringer's story. And there are going to be some changes made to the main scenario quest overall, because players now have to complete the Crystal Tower quest series, as well as the quest called My Little Chocobo. Now, in case you don't know, My Little Chocobo is just basically you being able to unlock the ability to ride mounts. I don't know if there's anyone out there who has played this far up into the storyline and hasn't gotten their chocobo or any other mounts yet. If so, I don't know if I should be impressed or scared by you. But this really has me thinking, why would they have that? Of all the quest lines out there, why that specific one? Does this mean that our chocobo is actually going to appear in the cutscene with us? I'm thinking they might want to kind of give us our own Seto, giving us our own sort of Seto and Oddbird's dynamic. That would be cool. I would say that at the very least they are going to show a cutscene of us kind of riding around of our chocobo, so we do need to have it. I do have another theory to why that may be, but I'll get to that, like I said, next time. Anyway, we do have a kind of screenshot, at least I think so since it is so badly distorted, but it's enough to make me excited. We have all these Emeraudians just standing there, and they're looking at us, like looking straight ahead. And after doing a quick head count, there are 13 of them all together. And if you use color correcting, the image looks like this. So it's pretty clear what it looks like. These are the Convocation members, like way back then. The only one that doesn't have the red mask, though, is the one standing directly in front. And I can't help but think that maybe this is learning more about the Defector and maybe our own role in this. It kind of looks like maybe a very distorted version of the Echo. But if that's the case, whose memory are we really looking into here? But moving on, we do have a brand new dungeon. Just the one for this patch, like they've been doing up till now. So this dungeon is called the Hero's Gauntlet. It is the trust system compatible, and we do have just a single screenshot here, but it kind of looks like it takes place somewhere on Lakeland, or maybe like on the very verge of Ilmeg, because you do see all these flowers and we have leaf men scattered here and there. I'm guessing maybe Pharaoh was helping us out, like fighting off these enemies for us. I love that pixie. I would love to see her again. Though I can't help but feel a bit more worried about the meteor that we kind of get a glimpse of in the corner up there. Not sure what this is about yet, but yeah, it's pretty intense from what I can tell so far. We're also going to be getting a brand new tribe quest. And when I say tribe quest, I don't mean Beast Tribe this time. I'm speaking about the dwarfs. I'm not really sure if this counts as a tribe quest because technically it's a race, not really a kind of beast tribe here. But hey, I mean, whatever works for you, I guess. I was personally kind of hoping for the new Mool because I really do love those guys. I love to see scenes of them with it. And I know it's unlikely because they were tied into the Pixie quest line, and maybe I even thought a little bit of the Thwaff, just because they're so different, but hey, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not picky here. And this is actually going to be focusing on crafting, and seriously, what's with all the crafting updates lately? Just getting one after another. I get it, they want us to start crafting and gathering more, but really, what's their deal with this? Moving on though. Anyway, we do have a screenshot here where we have a surprised looking dwarf with one of his mechanical frogs, and one can't help but wonder if we're going to actually help them rebuild like maybe the ultimate machine here like the terror of Kalusha or something like that. I think that would be cool. Anyway, we are going to be moving on to the Sorrow of Wylert as well. And sadly, there's not going to be the Sapphire weapon this time around. It's going to be entirely story focused with an instance encounter set up here. I can't say I'm surprised by this since we were getting another trial, and they generally don't release two different trials in one patch, but I'm sure that the story is going to be pretty good. You can actually enjoy like a story-focused experiencing, culminating in a very special event battle, kind of like what happened during the Four Lords. So this actually looks like the ultimate weapon wannabe, or maybe like the upgraded version of it. And Sid is here examining it with the Warrior of Light, so I'm guessing we're back on the battlefield at the Gimlet Dark. It actually looks activated, so I'm guessing we're going to have to fight this thing here. As for the new trial, this is the part that I am really just dying to know the most about. Sadly, it's a secret. Nobody knows what this new trial is going to be, but apparently by learning who the new trial is going to be up against, it's going to ruin the whole story for us. They didn't go into too much details about it, but they did seem pretty confident we would never be able to guess who it is. Well, I already know who it's going to be. It's going to be like the first versions of Godbert. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Yoshi P did state that the new trial is going to be the final boss of Shadowbringers, but he did not expect anyone to be able to predict the boss, so I guess that kind of removes the idea that it could be Elidibus. I mean, if we do have to fight Elidibus, which I'm pretty sure that we will have to confront him at least once before this whole thing is over, I think it's going to be more like the Gimlet Dark, where we kind of appear before him, we do fight him, kind of force him back. We don't kill him though, he's probably just going to flee after abandoning Oddbert's body or something like that. Anyway, I really don't know. I have plenty of theories. I've heard many different ideas about who the final boss could be. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most, so. But I will say this. If you look back on the last two expansions for the cover arts for the Points 3 patches, the trial bosses at the end of the story were always in the artwork. I'm just saying. Why do this to us, Yoshi P? Moving on, we have the new Alliance Raid Dungeon, which is the Yorhai Dark Apocalypse Chapter 2. So, as I'm sure you remember, Part 1 was the copied factory, and this time we're getting a screenshot of what looks to be another junk graveyard in the Puppet's Bunker. So this one's supposed to be even bigger and badder than Chapter 1. Can't wait to see what that's all about. There are going to be some job adjustments, including PvE and PvP. The daily challenges where the frontline battles will now be including all the frontline campaigns. We are moving on to the Resistance Weapons Quest, which is also going to be updated, and it's going to be our first step in upgrading the weapons. They're not going to release this right away because it wasn't too long ago that we actually got the release for the first part of the Save the Queen questline. So I'm guessing that it's going to be probably released maybe about a month and a half after like the initial release. That's kind of what I'm picturing here. So kind of once we have everything else like really exciting done in the beginning, and once we've had time to kind of cool down, that's when they're going to be bringing this in. So players can actually enhance these weapons obtained in the first chapter of this ongoing quest series as they explore in a whole new area. They didn't really talk too much more about that, except that it's a new large-scale battle content which will be added as part of the update. And they're going to be doing something very different here with upgrading the weapons, in that we have to head out to this large-scale instance, which is known as the Bojin Southern Front. So I'm guessing it's a little bit of Eureka kind of-ish. Maybe like Eureka-ish, like spread throughout all of it. So it looks like we're going to be heading like right into the battlefield, like out into a war zone, leading the troops out onto the battlefield with these new weapons to guide them and inspire them through all the fighting. And unfortunately, they're not really going to talk too much more about this, at least until the next letter from the producer. I can't wait for that. I want to get some more answers here. So after that, we do have kind of just some minor updates that are also going to be taking place. We have some new crafter and gatherer updates. The trial synthesis, we can now search for recipes using the ingredients in the inventories. Oh, another big thing is that we have a new custom delivery client, which includes a new collectible system and new crafting items. Don't know exactly who it's going to be. I'm trying to really think about that, and I don't know. I have no idea who it's going to be. I'm guessing it's someone from the first. That's my best bet anyway. The Ishgardian restoration system is going to be updated as we enter the third phase. And again, I don't think that this is going to come out right away. I'm expecting this to be out like maybe a month afterwards when the initial release is going on. That's my best bet. Anyway, the Sky Builder rankings are going to be reopened and you're going to have new items that are going to count towards your score, with new items for players to craft and new achievements for the top contributors to the restoration. Now, here's a big thing that's going to be coming, and that's going to be a Realm Reborn revamp. So, yes, they are revamping the whole storyline for a Realm Reborn. They are reworking this to give brand new players a more streamlined experience as they progress to Heavensward and beyond. So, the main scenario questline for Realm Reborn has been made so much easier to get to Heavensward, and you're also earning additional experience points to help you level up just a little bit easier. Also, the Crystal Tower quest series and the quest My Little Chocobo, like I said before, have to be completed during this. Apparently, it was stated around 13% of the quests that are going to be taken away. So they're not taking like any of the big important quests away, like introducing like any major NPCs that are going to be reappearing later in the story. Those are staying. What they're taking away here is just a lot of the... What they're taking away here, though, is kind of a lot of the delivery quests, where you have to go here, you have to go there, you have to do this in order to unlock this quest. So that could get a little bit annoying very quickly. Apparently, they say that most players that quit, they quit in 2.1 because you're just running around here, like, seemingly with no reason just to unlock these quests. So they're making it a little bit easier, all without doing those fetch quests that seem unnecessary. So that's going to be a little bit easier for people. And yes, people, the biggest news that we have all been waiting for, it has finally happened. We can now fly in a Realm Reborn area. So places like Thanalan, Lanosia, the 12 Wood, Mordona, the Coerthan Highlands, those are now going to be able for us to fly through there. I cannot wait. And the best part is, you don't have to gather the ether currents. All you have to do is complete the main scenario questline, the ultimate weapon, and you will unlock flying. They still won't be able to swim in bodies of water, that's fine. And with these new changes, we won't be able to climb certain sceneries anymore, so you better take your screenshots now. I mean, I could just imagine the story of how it went when they were trying to decide if they should make flying in a Realm Reborn. We want to fly in a Realm Reborn areas, and then Yoshi P's like, that's too expensive, maybe later. And the dev team is like, nah, we're doing it now. And then Yoshi P is like, alright then. And that's what happened. That's what I'm sticking to. Okay, so we're almost done now, so we don't have too much more information here. We do have a new battle content, which is known as the Unreal Trials. And I don't know about anyone else, I do feel like the primal bosses that we get from A Realm Reborn, they haven't been getting much love lately because they're now so easy to beat. And if you're kind of missing what it's like to go up against a foe without having sync to it, this is your chance. This is what you've been waiting for. The players will now be able to challenge powered up primals from the earlier expansions that are ready to fight against like level 80 heroes. So this is going to be synced directly to level 80. So if you think Extreme was hard, that's nothing. We have the Unreal battles now. Unreal Trials are going to be featuring one primal fight with each coming patch. So even though we only get one, it's only going to be temporary as well. But for this patch with 5.3, it's actually going to be starting off with Shiva. So we're going to be getting Shiva Unreal mode. So I don't know what they did here, but this is probably going to be like completely insane. So you'll be able to defeat her at least once a week, and once you do, players are going to be given a chance to complete a new minigame, which is called Faux Hollow. And those who emerge triumphant receive tokens to exchange for special prizes. Ooh, so that's going to be fun to see. Alright, so we do have a couple miscellaneous updates. We'll mention those real quick, and we'll call it a day there. So if you're in a party with someone, you can now join the party through the Party Finder. The option to require at least one play per job is going to be added to the Party Finder. New chapters are going to be added in the New Game Plus. New token exchanges vendors will be added to major cities. Players will be able to use the world visit system even in cross-world parties. That's going to be cool. A new menu is going to be for the parasols that's added. And if I had to guess, they're going to be having like brand new items. They're going to have new tombstones, new gear that you can buy from, new recipes, new orchestrion rolls, new housing items, like things like that. We won't know too much more. This is just kind of like just a little taste of what's going to be coming for us. This is just taunting us with what's going to be coming, what we can be expecting, and I can't wait. I am just dying to know what's going to happen to the storyline. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for now, at least until part 2 comes out. I'm sure that they are going to be releasing a special site, which is going to be giving us just a few more clues and hints, probably going to go into more details about it. I will be given additional updates for that, as well as for part 2 of the next letter from the producer, which is going to be talking more about the whole idea of 5.3 and perhaps the trailer. I am betting that the next letter from the producer is going to be showing us the trailer for 5.3. We still don't have a proper release date because while it was supposed to be released in mid-June with the pandemic going on, my god, it has just been a nightmare with that thing. Anyway, if I had to guess, I would say probably closer around mid to the end of July. That's probably my best bet of when the whole patch is going to be coming out. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any ideas at all, like any suggestions that you have for what could be waiting for us in the main scenario questline, and especially who you think that the trial is going to be up against, please drop a review down below. Let me know what you think. And if I really do think it has some merit, I'll probably mention it in my next video, which is going to be a predictions video. Just going to be talking about what I personally think is going to be happening for the main scenario questline. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks again for watching and have a good day. And I hope that everyone out there is staying safe and healthy, and hopefully we'll be able to beat this pandemic soon before it takes any more away from us. Bye bye.